Hey guys, good afternoon. Wandering Beast here. I have switched over my morning coffee for a protein shake, and we are continuing our discussion on food and being prepared. We talked about homesteading, having the acreage, providing for your family the old-fashioned way, harvesting your own food and animals. It's not for everyone, including myself. So next best thing, freeze-dried food. Number 10, cans, 5-gallon buckets, a huge variety, every shape and color that you want out there in the rainbow. It's healthy and it's going to provide that 25-year shelf life. Throw it in your garage, and when our food supply becomes interrupted or lessened or not safe to go procure, you've got that food available for your family. Now, to continue on that discussion, what happens if you don't have your house and all that supplies? What do you do when you need to grab something that's going to be portable, that you're going to take with you? You're going to put in a truck, you're going to put in a minivan, you're going to put in your bug out bag, and you're going to take with you. And the two biggest options are going to be your MREs and your freeze-dried sort of camping options. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, now MREs, I've already did a discussion about freeze-dried versus MREs, and I am going to repeat myself a little bit because MREs are a great resource. They've got a good shelf life as long as depending on what temperature you store them in, and we'll talk about that in a second. But it is a MRE, a meal ready to eat. It's like opening up a can of, Dentimore or noodles or something. It's already cooked. You can heat it, is an option too. There's heating packets in here, and we've talked about that before. But an MRE is, you don't need to boil water, you don't need to do anything. You literally tear the packets open, eat them. Now with that, there's a lot of extra waste in their packaging, so you can downsize the bulk of these a little bit, as well as they're gonna be a little heavier. You've already got that water weight factored in. So if you're carrying 3 liters, that's gonna be all drinking water. Maybe a little bit of hygiene, right? This has the water in it. So the 3 liters I carry, if I carry freeze-dried food, 16 ounces of that for every meal is going to be rehydrating that food to make it edible for me to eat. So MREs are a great option. Again, be careful if you're storing this stuff in a vehicle. The higher temperatures is going to really decrease the shelf life on these. Now, we'll talk about sort of what happens when everything's expired. Is it still safe? What does it taste like in a second? All right, guys, next, and one of the most popular choices is going to be freeze-dried food. Freeze-dried food is basically your backpacker meals. Why? Because if you're somewhere where you can at least procure water, then you don't have to carry that water, but you do need to have boiled water for these things to be edible. Freeze-drying is going to keep things fresher, longer. You're going to have a great shelf life with these. This particular one is not vacuum sealed. Some of these Mountain House ones will. Or also in our bug out video, we talked about the long patrol ration, which is basically a Mountain House meal for the military that they literally just shrunk down in a hard little nugget. These are great. I really like these. The menu on these is a little bit limited, but they've got a good shelf life. I've even had some very expired ones that have still maintained a good flavor, where some of the Mountain House meals did not. And again, we'll talk about that in a second. These guys are a little bit more expensive if you order them in the prepackaged meal like this. Part of the reason that I talked about it in my freeze-dried video is making my own meals. We're still going to go test those in a later date. But this is just kind of what happens if you've got to grab and go. These are still the best shelf life, lightweight, dependable. Again, do you have water? Do you want to carry the water for these? That's really the big question versus an MRE. But really good flavor. Great recipes, and hands down, one of the favorites to throw in any vehicle, bug out bag, you name it. All right, now what happens when those supplies get a little long in the tooth, right? I've got some supplies here that are over 10 years old. I decided to take my family out. We decided to try them, and long story short, MRE of about 10 years old. I'll just cut to that right now. They're all trying it. I chose the same menu, chili mac and cheese, so I could get sort of a, apples to apples. MRE chili mac and cheese around 10 years old. Go. Perfect. All right. It's quite good. A plus. Better than mom's cornbread? It's a MRE cornbread.
The nice older brother.
Not bad?
Not bad. It's pretty good.
It's kind of like canned food.
It's
As you can see, a little strange at the beginning to get used to the packaging, the color, sometimes the texture, but surprisingly enough, they really liked it. Now, what happens if you take a Mountain House meal that expired about 4 years ago, add some water to it, and what does that taste like?
And they are red.
Oh, yeah, they are. I don't like that one.
No. It is a little bit older, so it has kind of a cardboard flavor.
Like dirt. A lot like ashes and dirt or something.
Yeah, it's not as good.
It's not good.
It was a pretty quick no on that one. Freeze-dried food, when it expires, it doesn't always go rancid. It's not going to make you sick necessarily. I don't recommend any of this. I've already done some of the testing, so I knew it was safe for my family, but I wanted to see what their choice was, and we're going to continue with that because I think it's important. A lot of you guys are preparing not just for yourself. It's not a lone wolf survival with all your MREs and your rifles, right? This is real world scenario. So is your family, what are they going to like? What are they going to eat? What do they prefer? And I want to know what they thought of MREs versus Mountain House. Now, they are both around the same age. The MRE doesn't necessarily have a real shelf life depending on what temperature it was stored. They will give you recommendations. The Mountain House definitely has an expiration date on them, and it was expired. I'd already eaten several others, but it does have that cardboard flavor. It loses most of its nutrition. Its flavor is not great. They're not going to make you sick, but as you saw, my family was not willing to just scarf that down. MRE was definitely the winner in my family. Now, I will take them out and feed them proper non-expired Mountain House meals, and maybe we'll do that in a future video if you want to see it. With military rations, whether it's an MRE or the long patrol ration, the LRP rations, their expiration dates can be a little tricky. I'll leave a link down below. It's an MRE website, and you put in the 4-digit code. On this one is 1243. And then what I did is I went through here already and added the real date, but it'll convert the government's very arbitrary, difficult to follow expiration date. What it's going to do is tell you when it was manufactured, and then you can extrapolate. Did I have this stored at 80 degrees in the back of my car, in the trunk of my car? It's only going to last a couple of years. Do I have it in my garage or my basement, in my pantry? It's going to last that 10 plus years. So I'll put some links down below so you guys do some research. I hope this was helpful, guys. We're going to continue on with the series. Please let me know what you want to see. I'm really enjoying getting the family out and talking about preparedness and trying the different meals. Let me know what you guys are doing, and hope you're safe, and we'll see you down the road.
Thanks for all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the adventure on social media, and we'll see you on the road.